So, we have been discussing Francis Bacon's essay of envy for the last 2 days, and this is the final day, and we will finish this chapter, this essay today. So, in this essay, he talks about envy, which can be interpreted as jealousy. Envy has two meanings. One is positive, one is negative. So, if you want to achieve the status which the other person is having, you feel envious towards him. This is positive. But if you want to bring him down, if you want to harm him, then this is jealousy. This is the negative aspect of envy. And also, he talks about personal envy, social envy, political envy, public envy in this essay. So, personal envy has been discussed. Now we come to public envy. Public envy, there is no individual to feel envy towards a person. The whole public of a country or a state envies the state itself. State here means the government, not the country. Personal envy is negative, is harmful. But public envy there is something good according to Bacon. What is that good? It controls the state. Public envy controls the ruler, controls the state, controls the government. If there is no public envy, the ruler will work according to their or his or her whims, which will be harmful for the state. So, public envy keeps the government in control. But sometimes what happens? That public starts envying the state without any reason. And in order to assuage the public envy, in order to control the public envy, the government takes some states in the interest of the public to please the public. But the public thinks that the ruler is afraid of their anger. This is the sign of the rulers, or this is the sign of the government's weakness. If the government tries to please the public in order to escape the public envy. But if the public envy is against all the ministers and the prime minister or the president, then it becomes very difficult for the state to maintain its position. There are some good things in public envy for the health of the state. So, there is another essay by Bacon. He says that I will handle this discontent of public in another essay named sedition. So, I will not deal with this discontent in this essay, but he says that envy literally means discontent, invidia. What is a disease? Disease means there is infection in our body somewhere, and body shows this infection through certain symptoms. So, state if there is envy in the public mind, then this means that the state is diseased. People are not happy with the government. So, like infection spreads in other parts, if there is an infection in our body, it will spread to other parts also. In the same manner, if there is envy against one minister in the government, gradually that envy will spread to other ministers also. This is a technique adopted by rulers in different countries in different ages, that they remove ministers from time to time in order to avoid envy, which may originate any moment against any minister at any time. Clear? That discontent, this infection spreads body, other parts of the body, and then it becomes incurable, like cancer. Cancer, शुरुआत में, if it is diagnosed, it will be cured. But if it is overlooked, then the infection will spread to other parts of the body, causing death of the patient. In the same manner, if discontent, if envy which turns into discontent remains, or if it is overlooked by the ruler, it will spread to other parts of the state and create problem to the ruler. Even the ruler will be overthrown. ऐसे बहुत सारे रूलर्स थे डिफरेंट कंट्रीज में who worked well for the welfare of the public, but still public was not happy. And there was no reason. Reasons are created, reasons are invented by the public, by the press. इसलिए Bacon suggests कि once if the discontent is spread in the state, in the different regions of the state, then there is no sense in intermingling welfare measures or strict measures. If you ignore the cure, it means you are inviting the infection. So Bacon says that I will talk this much about the public envy. And I have talked about private envy earlier in the same essay. And the difference between private envy and public envy. What is the difference? Private envy is unhealthy. Public envy is healthy to a point, somewhat healthy. But if it is too much, then it is unhealthy for the state. Affection here means the emotion of envy. Envy and love, as he told in the earlier part of this essay, that these are continual emotions. Anger is temporary, sorrow, grief, all these emotions are temporary emotions. But love and envy are continual emotions and permanent emotions. Continual in the sense that it does not subside so easily. If we have envy in our hearts against someone, we will have sleepless nights. And we will think about that person in the day, during the night, all the time. Same is the case with love. Love is not a negative emotion. It is not harmful. Or he writes for the worldly people, for the people who live in this world. So in this way, this is the end of the essay. So he talks about the causes, the reason behind envy, the people who are the targets of someone else's envy, some other people's jealousy. And then he talks about public jealousy, private envy, all these things, and he compares envy with the emotion of love. To the total moralist, that moralist will feel surprised to see that he compares envy with love. Love is a positive emotion and envy is a negative emotion. Lekin Bacon was a scientific man. Actually, he was the most scientific person of his age. तो ये एक तरह से हम we can see कि ये psychological ऐसे है. एक तरह से psychology was not a different stream in those days. It was not a different discipline in those days. Literature में he deals with psychology. लेकिन बेकन ने एक तरह से ये साइकोलॉजिकल स्टडी ऑफ ह्यूमन ब्रेन हम मान सकते हैं कि एनवी क्यों होती है, किसके दिमाग में होती है. All these things have been discussed in this essay by Bacon. Bacon was himself, he was not a worldly wise person in literature, in his writings only. Practically also, he was a man of this world. He was a practical person. And practical persons are not always honest, are not always good persons at heart. Bacon was a great writer, but he was not a great person. How? He embezzled money, he took bribery, इसने रिश्वत ली when he was working in the royal palace. और जब बेकन को गिरफ्तार किया गया तो बेकन ने कहा दिस इज़ नॉट माई फॉल्ट, डोंट अरेस्ट मी, दिस इज़ नॉट माई फॉल्ट. तो सब ने पूछा तुम्हारी फॉल्ट नहीं है तो फिर ये किसकी फॉल्ट है? देन ही रिप्लाइड दिस इज द फॉल्ट ऑफ द टाइम आई एम लिविंग इन. तो देयर इज अ quotation by Alexander Pope. He was the brightest, wisest, but meanest of mankind. Ye there may be a question. Ab you will have to elaborate upon this statement.